applying lateral thinking technique and 6 thinking hats for research. But before going for research, I think all of us need to have a fair idea about lateral thinking technique or 6 thinking hats technique, and then comes applying part, then research part. So 3 aspects. I have divided the session into 3 aspects. One is the concept thing, the conceptual framework. What is this concept? Lateral thinking, which is also called 6 hats thinking, also called parallel thinking. That is number 1. Let us understand. Then number 2, how do we apply this technique at workplace or in your research, in your classrooms, in your paper writing, whatever it is? How do we apply? That is second aspect. Number 3 is research or action research. How do we do this? So these 3 things. So it is useful for research guidance, research scholars, decision makers, administrators, academicians, anybody. You can apply this technique anywhere. Okay. So these are the objectives. Describe lateral thinking technique, learn 6 hat thinking technique, identify the importance of this concept for future, apply lateral thinking technique at workplace, discuss the role and responsibilities of researchers in the workplace, develop a plan of action for acquiring various skills for our potential in future. So this is the small agenda I have. Now brainstorming. I request everybody to unmute the mics and try to share with me whatever ideas coming into your mind, because we are talking about thinking techniques. So let us think and speak. Think of recent changes in your working style. So it's a brainstorming session, ice breaking or motivation, whatever you call it. So I need some responses, please. Recent changes in your working style. You can use examples from employment, academic studies, or participation in sports clubs, societies, anonymously, whatever you want. Just try to share something about the recent changes in your working style. Anybody, please?
Guruji.
Yes, sir.
A brainstorming method is the last method.
No. I'm not using the method, sir. I'm just saying, let us brainstorm the issue. What is the issue? What are the recent changes in working style? In your working style?
Online teaching.
Online teaching, the answer correct. Yeah. How did it change your way of working, sir?
No, we have to work double.
Okay.
About the subject, to learn the subject and presentation in some different way.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Than
sir.
what we are doing,
Yes,
doing
sir.
PPTs, etc.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Our work is actually multiplied, not simple.
Multiplied. yes,
sir.
Yeah, I know.
Our physical strength may be reduced,
yes, sir.
but mental work are increased, sir.
Yes, sir. Correct. Any other changes? Guru Swami, sir.
Something innovative, sir. New method.
Uh-huh.
Because we were using board, chalk piece in the classroom.
Yeah.
This is easier than standing and teaching in the classroom.
Yes. Sitting somewhere and presenting, right?
Guarantee. And even children, they at home, in the factory or in the farmhouse. When they are traveling in the bus or train, also they are attending the classes.
They are attending. Wonderful, sir. Technical India, techno India. Now, make in India. Okay, Swachha Bharat, Unnat Bharat. Now, Techno India. Wonderful. Very nice, very nice. Okay. So now there is no timing at all. Earlier there was some 9 to 5 or 10 to 4, whatever timings each institution and individual is following. That used to be there. But there is no constraint of time and place. Wherever you are at any time, anybody can be contacted, provided that you should have a smartphone with you or a tablet or computer, then uninterrupted power supply and internet. If these things are with you, you can do anything. Okay, let's go ahead. Now, evolution of the employee. What happened in the past and future? Certain things I'll mention here. We used to work 9 to 5. Now work anytime. Work in a corporate office. If anybody is working in an office earlier, now there is no office. Work from anywhere. Use company equipment, now use your own device. Focused on inputs, now focused on output. What is output? How much time you are spending, how much you are studying, that is not the issue. What is output? Outcome based learning, output based things. Then climb the corporate ladder or academic ladder earlier. Now create your own ladder. You can connect with anybody, type with anybody, project works, online, anything can be done. Predefined work was there. Now it is customized work based on your students, based on requirement.
Akshaya Patra.
Customized work is there.
Sorry, madam. Sorry.
Hello.
We don't have madam.
Hello.
Yes.
Guru Swami sir, please switch, unmute your.
Okay. Thank you. So hordes of information was there earlier. Now you have to share information. Earlier your voice was somewhere, nobody knew. Now your voice becomes very important. Your presentation becomes important. You are important. Can become a leader in academics or corporate, anywhere. Relies on email earlier. Now relies on collaboration technologies like Zoom, like MS Teams, like Google Meet, Google Classrooms, G Suite. So many things have come now. WebEx tools, so many things. Focused on knowledge earlier, now focused on adaptive learning. Based on my situation, can we adapt the knowledge suitable to me? That is becoming. So these are some of the changes, evolution in terms of employment, work and all. Now let's think of the facts. How many schools, colleges and universities talk about the above skills? The above skills are referring to the skill set which I have been mentioning since morning today. So many skills we have enlisted. How many schools, colleges and universities talk? Talking is there, but in terms of implementation, how much is it happening? Have we integrated the above in the curricula anywhere in India? Morning some discussion happened and some people said it is there in the curriculum, it is there in the syllabus, it is being implemented, things like that. But is there a study on what is the level of implementation? What is the percentage of implementation? Is there some autonomy given to the organizations, departments, individuals to implement these skill set? And is there a monitoring? Is there an assessment? These are the questions I have been thinking and I have been interacting with faculty members across India and abroad also. Now, future, how can we implement? That should be the discussion. What is the outcome? OBL, outcome-based learning, even in ASCSB accreditations, QS International accreditations, and your AICTE accreditations, UGC, all these accreditation bodies, monitoring bodies are thinking about outcome. What is the outcome? How do we assess and evaluate? So these three things, if we are focusing more, I think it will be wonderful. And when it comes to assessment and evaluation, we should remember Bloom's taxonomy. I hope all the teachers, faculty members, trainers, assessors, they have a fair idea about Bloom's taxonomy revised I have put there. Because as per Benjamin Bloom, you can have a look at the link I have given at the bottom of my slide also. There are two links. One is nailmcnulty.com, Bloom's digital taxonomy, or you can have a look at skillosophyconsulting.in. So where you will get some ideas about these things. Otherwise, it is very simple. According to Benjamin Bloom, there are 6 levels of understanding, learning. So all these levels must be tested properly. But when we look at the assessment criteria or evaluation criteria, our examination criteria, with respect to your own levels of teaching, maybe school, college, degree college, PG, I don't know which levels you are teaching. So just look at your examination in your own subjects, concerned areas, and look at these levels from bottom to top. Level 1, level 2, level 3, 4, 5, 6. Level 1 is considered to be remembering. If you are testing a learner, can the learner recall or remember the information? That is first level of your testing as per the Bloom's taxonomy. It means some questions are there which will test the remembrance of the students. Then level 2, understanding. Can the learner explain ideas or concepts in his own words or her own words? That is where we are testing the understanding. That is level 2 of testing. Then number 3 is applying. Can the learner use information in a new way? New way, application. Can he do? Can she do? That is the level of understanding. Then level 4 is analyzing. Can the learner distinguish between different parts of some machine, some aspects, some certain things like that? Distinguishing, that is analyzing. Analysis is a higher order thinking skill, technically. Then comes evaluating, level 5. Can the learner justify a stand or a decision? Evaluating. That is level 5 thinking or learning level. Then comes creating. That is the highest level of understanding we can test. Level 6, that is, can the learner create a new product or point of view? It means that is productivity. It happens at research level, maybe post-graduation level also it is happening. Then what are the words to be used if you are testing level 1, for example? Remembering, look at the right hand side last column. The questions can include like this. Remembering, you are testing remembering. So the questions can include define, duplicate, list, memorize, recall, repeat, state. These things will be there in your questions. Then level 2, just go from bottom to top, sir. Level 2, right side, last column. Classify, describe, discuss, explain, identify, locate, recognize, report, select, translate, paraphrase. If such kind of questions are asked, then the learner is being tested at level 2, understanding. Level 3, applying. What type of questions can we ask? Choose, demonstrate, dramatize, employ, illustrate, interpret, operate, schedule, sketch, solve, use, write. Then this comes application. This is where we are talking about application. Then level 5, appraise, argue, defend, judge, select, support, value, evaluate. Then level 6, assemble, construct, create, design, develop, formulate, write. So these types of questioning examination system will test all the 6 levels. But it may not be possible sometimes to evaluate all the levels suggested by Bloom. It may not be possible. Maybe a spread across a course, maybe across the semesters or trimesters, then it is possible. But by the end of the course, all these levels are being tested or not. If you want to test, then your syllabi, your curriculum must be based on this. That's where outcome-based learning will be successful. Okay, any questions here or comments here, sir, madam? Or shall we proceed? Anybody, please?
We can proceed, sir. Bloom's taxonomy, you are applying in all the subjects.
Wonderful.
In preparing the question papers, in the method of teaching, everywhere.
Yes, sir.
We are following
Wonderful.
Bloom's taxonomy.
Wonderful.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
So, welcome, sir. Let's proceed. Now, let us look at our ancient to modern education system in terms of global and local ideologies. So many ideologies in education system. We are influenced by so many ideologies, like Socrates and Plato philosophies, Aristotle's philosophy. Then Gurukul Padashalas are there in India. Many Gurukul Padashalas are there. Right from ancient, what do you call, Takshila and Vallabhi and all these universities, Nalanda universities, Gurukul system is there. Even now, modern age, some Gurukul Padashalas are there. Rabindranath Tagore's philosophy. He talked about heuristic methodology. Then Jiddu Krishnamurti in Rishi Valley School, if you have heard about Rishi Valley School, that is based on J. Krishnamurti's philosophy. Then Swami Vivekananda's philosophy. Based on all these philosophies, we have formulated CBSE, ICSE, IGCSE, then higher levels of education. Then some schools are following finishing school method. In some business schools and engineering colleges, wherever I have visited across India, some organizations, some institutions have a wing called finishing school. That's where the entire shaping up, finished products are coming out. It means The raw materials, when they come into the institution, they are like raw materials. Then we shape them up as faculty members, teachers, trainers. Then by the time they pass out from the institution, they are called finished products. They are ready to face the challenges of this modern era. Then there are techno schools, then cyber education. That's what we are doing now. Now look at the left side of my slide. As on April 2018, there were 384 state universities, 123 deemed universities, 47 central universities, 296 private universities, so 850 total. Then you can add up IIMs, IITs, all those things, nearly more than 1,000. The number is more now. It's from 18 to now, so many establishments. So thousands of institutions. So lakhs of students are coming out. Now we have to think, what are the corporate expectations? Morning also I was discussing with you, these are the expectations. Then we have to think of the ask. You can ask me what is ask. ASK is ask. It is an acronym. But you can ask me what is ask. Or you can tell me what do you think of this ASK. Ask. Anybody please? Sir, my request to participants, please participate in the discussion, sir. Sir, madam. Hello. Can you hear me, sir, madam?
Yes, sir.
Hello, hello, sir.
Yeah, please respond, sir. What do you think of ask? I'm asking about ask. ASK. You can guess, or you can suggest, or we can discuss. Any idea about ask? That is a blend of three things. Any idea, sir, madam?
No idea, sir. We heard, but I cannot recall.
Okay, no problem. So let me clarify, sir. A stands for attitude. S stands for skills. K stands for knowledge. So that is a blend. So in any ideal education system, any institution at any level of teaching learning, the blend of A, S, K should happen. And there is an argument, debate, national level, international debates, wherever I visited, some faculty members used to take up this topic. Sir, A to S to K or K to S to A, is it linear or circular? That is the question. Intellectually, if you want to discuss about it, is it linear approach or circular? I mean, from A to S to K or K to S to A or S to A to K, how do we go about it? From where to where?
It is circular, I think.
Okay. How, sir? Can you give an example or some substantiation?
Yeah. If you have knowledge, we can have skills.
Wonderful.
If we have skill, we can also develop knowledge.
Okay. Which is first?
Maybe.
Yes.
Attitude
yes.
only first, sir. Your order is right, sir.
Okay. Attitude only first. So this order I achieved based on so many discussions with intellectuals like you and others, sir. So many places I discussed this. Then we arrived at a situation where, everything should start with attitude.
Yes,
then comes skills and knowledge. Okay. If someone asks in one sentence, can you define what is this ASK in one sentence?
So the goal of a person or an institute, it should move in this order.
Okay. Okay. For example, I bring a book from MIT Sloan, Massachusetts Institute of Technology. A mechanical engineering professor is there. He wrote a book on how to drive a car with all descriptions, everything. I give it to the students, ask him or her to read thoroughly. Then after 1 week, I say, okay, have you read the book on driving? Yes. You know what is a gear? Yes. You know where is the brake? Yes. Now this is the key of the car. Mercedes-Benz car, for example. Take this and drive. Can the student drive?
No.
Why?
No, skill is, that is knowledge what he learned. But skill is different From knowledge.
Anybody else? Question to all actually. Whatever questions I'm.
It is foreign. It is right hand driving, left hand driving. So we have right side brain, left side brain, something like that.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, correct. You are right. Actually, when I was in the Middle East, I applied for driving license in Dubai and Oman. It is right hand driving. And nearly 50,000-60,000 I spent. Then they took 7 tests on the road, off the road. Then they gave me international license. I'm GCC license holder now. But when I came to India, I tried to drive in Hyderabad and sometime in Bangalore also. You know, it is very difficult to drive. Because that SVASA University is there near that electronic city, beyond electronic city. What is that area? Banerghatta. Near Banerghatta, there is SVASA University in Bangalore, right, ma'am? Sir, those who are from Bangalore, they can.
Yes.
I tried driving from
Yes, sir.
Marpalli area under the bridge to that area. By bike, I tried by car, but you know, it's very difficult. Even in Hyderabad, I tried, it is very difficult. So, what I'm trying to say is, I have an attitude to drive, to go on my own and reach in time, or I maybe my passion to drive. I like driving or going out adventurous, whatever. That is my attitude. And I have a skill. I'm a licensed driver. I'm licensed to kill also, like James Bond. Though I don't kill, I'm just joking. Skill is there. And I have complete knowledge about this automobile. Where is the gear, where is the brake, everything. But still, driving is becoming difficult. Same thing happened in our education system also. Maybe we are focusing more on K factor, that is knowledge. Maybe we are focusing more on S factor. Concerned to, it is dependent on individually variable. I mean, it is different for different subjects, different institutions, different teachers, and different students also. On various aspects, it is depending, right? But A factor, how much emphasis are we doing about to lay on A factor, that is attitude factor? I think from the day one of a child's birth in this world, the attitude starts. And if you look at Mahabharata, Abhimanyu was listening to the entire Padma Vyuha before his birth also. So where from this attitude is starting? Before it is getting converted into knowledge acquisition or skill application. That is a very interesting study actually. So that's where this ASK comes into picture. Okay, let us proceed. So in one sentence, if anybody asks me to define what is ASK, knowledge backed with skill, knowledge backed with skill, or skill backed with knowledge and packed with attitude. That is the expectation I have. That must be the expectation actually. Let me repeat. Skill backed with knowledge and packed with attitude. Any dichotomy here? Any difference of opinion or anything about this statement? Anybody, sir? Madam?
That is right, sir.
You agree with me?
Yes, sir.
Wonderful. Okay, let's proceed. Now, I was talking about various philosophers and educational psychologists. For example, Socrates proclaimed, the aim of education is to attain knowledge. Plato opines, the education of the early childhood period should be the responsibility of the parents, but they are still responsible for moral education. It means the moralities, ethics, values, and attitude, personality must be taught by the parents, then teachers. Because for every child, home is the first school and mother is the first teacher. So I salute noble ladies. The first teacher for any human being in this world is the mother. Then your home itself becomes the first school. Informal education happens there. Then we come to formal education. That is your school, college, university, whatever it is. Then let's see what Aristotle's aims are. Aims at goodness of intellect and character. He draws line between intellect and character. It is the creation of a sound mind in a sound body. That is what Aristotle says. Then, intellect can be produced and increased by teaching, training, and experience, but character is formed by habits, virtues, and practice. What a statement he made, sir. Aristotle is the father of biology, father of literature, father of so many things. Because these people were masters of many subjects. But unfortunately, what I see in our country, if you want to teach mathematics, you should have MSc, PhD in mathematics. If you want to teach English, MA English, graduation also BA English, then PhD in English. But in some countries, it is not so. Whatever you studied, if you have the ability to teach some subject practically, then you are allowed to teach. That is, it all depends on the maturity and broadness of thinking. For the development of child's body and mind, learning through activity is essential. Activity-based learning. Gurudev Rabindranath Tagore, Vishwabharati, Shantiniketan founder in West Bengal. He says spiritual education, harmonious development of the child with equal emphasis on mental, social, and emotional growth bring change through education. He talked about heuristic method. That is, the students come prepared and ask questions to clarify their doubts on various topics, and teachers try to satisfy them by correct answers. Any comments here? Heuristic method? Is it applicable, or is it being implemented somewhere, or is it ideal, possible? Anybody, please? Sir, madam? Gurudev Rabindranath Tagore's philosophy, heuristic method.
Sir, we can't comment Rabindranath Tagore, sir. He is a great dancer, great leader, sir, great educationist. He is like Himalaya.
No. What I'm saying, the students come prepared and ask questions to clarify their doubts on various topics, and teachers try to satisfy them by correct answers. It's a different method. I'm asking, is it implemented somewhere in our institution, somewhere, anywhere? Because all over India people are there in this webinar. Some are silent, some are mentally active, some are just listening, some are participating. Okay, but what is this method?
Guruji, in many matas, we are having the schools in Karnataka.
Okay.
Matadishwaras, their schools, definitely they give importance.
Wow.
Without spiritual education, they won't teach.
Okay.
Harmonious is there, and mental, social, emotional, everything will be there. Spiritual, why we can't teach in Bangalore is spiritual means somewhat related to religion. Too much depth we don't go in the matter of religion.
Yes.
But in the Matadishwaras, Mata schools, wherever big Matas are there, Siddhganga Mata is there in Tumkur. 10,000 students are studying.
Wonderful.
100% they use the spiritual education.
Very good.
And Adi Chinchinigiri is there in Asan district.
Wow.
There more than 6,000 children are studying. For them, the spiritual education is compulsory.
Sir.
But we people in the city schools, we don't go that much of depth in the spiritual education.
Okay.
Because Hindu, Muslim, Christians, all religious peoples will be there in our schools. We have to use more secular type education we require in the schools.
Sir.
But in the Matadishwaras, there other community people won't be there. Suppose in madrasas, Islam, Muslims, Muslim children are there. They teach spiritual education. In the Christian convents, some of the convents, they teach about Bible law, spiritual and all. Hindu matas, they teach Bhagavad Gita, Ramayana, slokas every day. Right, Guruji?
Yes, Saraswati Shishu Mandirs also, for that matter. Sir? Okay. So, these methods are proclaimed by these people. Thank you very much, Swami sir, for sharing your idea. Then let us move on to Vivekananda. Overall development of the individuals, physical, mental, social, emotional, intellectual, moral, spiritual development is called overall development. Now, let's see the latest scenario. That's where your lateral thinking, which I presented in 2020, International FDP, RNTU, Rabindranath Tagore University, Bhopal also conducted similar kind of FDP. Then I presented this topic. Now I have a disclaimer. All the views, assumptions and comments in the presentation are purely academic and intended for professional development only, nothing personal, because the examples which I am giving, sometimes they may look personal, sometimes they may look professional. So I am declaring that this is for our discussion sake only. Any similarity or correlation to any participant here is accidental and incidental. Hence, consider it as a coincidence and unintentional. I am safe now because some examples, some people say, sir, this looks very similar to me, sir. This becomes very this thing, sir, that thing, sir. So I am declaring. Now, the background check. Have we ever wondered how do we think before we decide something? This is where the main topic, lateral thinking, six thinking hats is coming to picture. Whoever is busy with telephones or any other distractions, kindly focus here. All the participants, my request, because very useful concept I am talking about, you can apply it anywhere. That's why I am requesting you again and again. Kindly listen to me and participate, sir. Have we ever wondered how do we think before we decide something? What do we think of thinking? Are we observing the thinking pattern of our own brain? How many ways of thinking could be there? Can we really stretch beyond the normal way of thinking? Is there such a technique? These are my questions. Can anybody throw some light on this, sir, madam? Think of thinking. How many ways of thinking? Can we stretch beyond normal ways of thinking?
Guruji?
Yes, sir.
First one, have we ever wondered how do we think before we decide something?
Yes, sir.
Before we decide something, definitely in different angles, Guruji. In the convergent way we think, in the divergent way we think, in the brainstorming method we think to solve the problem. To solve the problem, which weapon we have to use? Which weapon?
Yes.
Whether convergent weapon is enough or analytical is enough or a brainstorming we have to apply. We'll think, Guruji.
Correct.
To kill a cockroach, we don't require any AK-47, no?
Yes. Good one. Yes.
To kill a cockroach, just a broom is enough or a shoe leg is enough.
Correct.
Thank you, Guruji.
Wonderful. Anybody else? Honorable participants from north, south, east, west of India? A small India is sitting in this webinar, I know, but some are silent. Some are thinking.
Sama, Dana, Veda, Danda. Even our ancient India also used these words.
Yes, sir.
Sama, Dana, Veda, Danda. Danda is not required for every time.
Yes.
If we able to solve in Sama, Dana, Veda, not required Danda only.
Yes, sir. Correct.
Thank you.
Very nice, sir. I appreciate your ideas, sir. From Ramayana, from Mahabharata, from Vedas, a lot of knowledge sharing you are doing. Wonderful, sir. Very nice. I hope everyone contributes like this, because this is the forum which Jyoti madam has created for all of us. Her institution has thought of organizing this FDP with the help of AICTE. Wonderful. So such things should happen. Okay. Now, can we really stretch beyond the normal way of thinking? That is another question I have. Is there such a technique? Okay. So these are some of my publications. Right. The theoretical framework. That's where this lateral thinking technique comes into picture. which is a powerful tool for critical thinking and decision making. Lateral thinking or parallel thinking or six thinking hats coined by Edward de Bono. This is a gentleman, psychologist and physicist. He, for the first time, talked about this lateral thinking approach, parallel thinking technique, six thinking hats, he called it. Edward de Bono, American, a psychologist and the founder of a school of thinking. There is a school of thinking in America where Edward de Bono and his team teaches business executives, administrators, teachers, faculty members, researchers, everybody goes there to learn the way of thinking, ways of thinking. That's what he's doing. He doesn't teach any other subject. He only teaches ways of thinking because brain, even the wars, world famous wars, War One, War Two, whatever, every war, whether it is social, whether it is familial, whether it is individual, mental, whatever wars are happening, they first happen in the mind before they happen really outside on the ground. So mind is the biggest battleground. Forever, perennial war will be going on between this is right, that is right, yaku, saku, beku, all these things in your Kannada, my friends teach me. Sir, yaku, beku, saku, all these things will be there, sir, people say. Okay. Then academicians, teachers, business tycoons, and administrators are using this tool for powerful decision making. Now there are some assumptions. What are the assumptions? People generally think in a very limited way, linear or peripheral, often influenced by ego, attitude, traditional grooming, personality types, preconceived notions, and conditioning. Classical conditioning theory I was talking about in the morning. The surroundings in which you are brought up, the society where you are growing, the people with whom you are spending time, all these things become contributing factors to your notions, your ideology, your attitude, your personality. That's where grooming happens. Thanks to India, we have a lot of traditional grooming happening at homes, on the streets, at offices, everywhere. Somebody will be suggesting something free of cost. Hey, do like this, don't do like this. This is good for you, that is not. Though you ask or not, they will be saying this. But in foreign countries, that is not there. That traditional grooming is not there. Unless you ask, nobody will tell you, do this, do that. They don't interfere in anybody's. That is considered as interfering. That's why there are privacy policies everywhere. They respect their privacy. But in India, we are free to talk to anybody and we can advise anybody. That is a great thing, actually. That's why our traditional grooming is entirely different when you compare it to foreign countries and their education system. Because I taught in some countries, I have seen the youth there, children there, adults there, and I interacted with parents and many nationals, multinational, multicultural experience I have, so I am sharing with you. For example, preconceived notions like Lakshmi Vara in South India. Can anybody share with me, sir? What is Lakshmi Vara in South India?
That is Friday, Guruji.
Friday, wonderful. Even in Andhra Pradesh and Telangana, we consider Friday, Shukravara is Lakshmi Vara. Right. And in North India, if there is anybody who is online, can you please tell me, sir, madam, what is Lakshmi Vara for you people? Anyone from North India? I don't know whether they are listening or participating, but if anybody can share from North India, I'll be glad. Because in one seminar, when everybody was active, North, South, East, West, people were surprised by sharing their idea. So Lakshmi Vara is differently considered in North India. Some people say Thursday, Guruvara is Lakshmi Vara. Some people say some other day. So Lakshmi Vara concept is in South India prominently. So on Friday, there is a tradition in some areas that on Lakshmi Vara, don't spend Lakshmi Devi. I mean, money. Don't spend money on Lakshmi Vara. Is it right, Swami sir?
Guruji.
Yes.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Receiving.
Yes.
Receiving.
Receiving.
No, they will receive.
Receiving.
They receive. Very honestly, they receive.
Receive is Vangu. No problem. Welcome.
They don't help others. They don't give money for others.
Yes, exactly.
But,
So
this is
yes.
Guruji. Only among the money lenders, this policy is there.
Yes, even at home, sir. Some
Money
people say-
lenders and more traditional people.
Yes. So,
Yeah.
is it social thing or a traditional thing or cultural thing, or how is it is coming into practice, sir? From where?
Guruji, that is a traditional thing. Scientific meaning is not there for that.
Yes,
See,
sir.
that's
True.
what I'm
That is really blind belief.
Yeah, sometimes it is
Yes.
blind, sometimes there is reasoning, but systematically people are following this from centuries together, from grandfather to grandson to so many generations it is being. So it is called preconceived notion. This generation doesn't know where from it is coming. They are only taught, Arey Lakshmi Vara, try not to spending any money. Or
Guruji,
don't part with money. Yes.
even they should not receive also, no, but they receive around sake, they receive money.
No, receiving is not a problem because
But-
it is coming to you.
This Lakshmi Vara they are using for a greedy purpose, selfish purpose.
Yes.
See, I respect Lakshmi Vara I respect. But we have to give. Lakshmi is there to help others.
Yes.
Lakshmi is there to help others, Guruji. Needy people we have to help.
Correct. That is idealistic. Yes, I agree. But
See,
Lakshmi grows in multiples when it is shared. It should circulate. It should not stagnate. It should not stagnate, sir.
see, somebody badly require money for hospital or education purpose. Today is Friday, tomorrow he'll help us. This is a nonsense.
Yes, correct.
We have to give. We have to, instead of giving tomorrow, today you help.
Yes, correct, sir. So, what I'm trying to say is this traditional grooming, this preconceived notions, this mindset, these attitudes, these are legacies actually from generations together. They are coming, they are taught, they are practiced. So, what is happening? Suddenly, if you want to think above this linear, peripheral approach, it cannot happen. That's what I'm saying. So, Upavasam, for example, in South India it is different, in North India it is different. I know my friends, in the name of Upavasa, they eat 2 kgs of fruit or 1 kg of something. But except rice and chapati, they can eat anything in the name of Upavasam. Actually, Upavasam means what? You should not even touch food, water, anything. I have seen in the Arab world, sir, in Ramadan season, nearly 30 days fasting will be there. Even in India, they follow. But whole day, not even a drop of water they drink, sir. In Dubai, I have seen. In Oman, I have seen. I have very close friends in.
Guruji.
Yes.
I am a Hindu, but I can do Ramzan for in 1 month. I can do fasting. How
Yeah.
I am a non-vegetarian. Non-veg is very hard food, very tough food.
Correct.
Morning 1 time, evening 1 time. If I eat throughout the year, I can maintain. Throughout the year, only 2 meals enough for me.
Correct.
I don't require third meals. I don't require.
Correct.
Morning 5:30, 6 o'clock, you give me non-veg. Evening, I will eat 1 more time after 6 o'clock non-veg. Really, throughout the year, I can do Ramadan. I can do fasting.
So, why I am telling these examples is the ideas, the traditions, the preconceived notions, the customs which we have laid are different in different areas. That's why the thinking pattern also will be different. For example, bride selection in Arab world, where I have seen, there are 2 doors for every house in the Arab countries. One for ladies, one for gents. One grandfather and grandmother, if they come to know that there is a marriageable boy or girl in some house, they go there. First, grandparents go. I'm just sharing, sir, this story. Listen to me. It is very interesting. They go to their houses, and granny will start talking to the ladies, and grandfather will start talking to the gents. And they say that there is a boy or there is a girl. We want to have a marriage alliance selection, bride selection. Then grandmother, what she does when all the ladies go inside to prepare tea and bring something for her, she will touch the carpets laid, the sofas, carpets in the house, and see whether there is dust on the sofas or not, or on the carpet there is dust is there or not. She will check, and she even lifts the carpet Under the carpet, she will touch the ground and see whether. If there is dust, unclean, then they will not marry a girl from that house. This is a practice in some tribal areas. See how they are selecting the person from somewhere. So they never train the brain to think in different directions for a solution or a decision through a comprehensive thought process. That's what I'm trying to say here. Okay. Now left brain, right brain already I have touched upon, but I'm just reminding you because we are going into deep work. Now sir, somebody's mic is open, sir. Hello.
Hello, Dayanand sir. Mic please. Yeah, thank you.
Wonderful. So sir, look at the visual here which I am showing and tell me why is it rotating? Any idea, sir? Is it rotating?
No, sir, it's not rotating.
But there is an optical illusion that it is rotating, right?
Yes.
Yes, sir. Optical illusion is there.
Yeah. Thought process also like this, sir. Cognitive process to select a course of action among many variations. Decisions produce a final choice or opinion or action. Usually, in how many ways can we think of a problem, person, issue, comment, topic, decision, etc. Same thing happens. Now, the visual, imagine that it is a person or it is a problem, it's an issue, it's a comment, it's a decision, topic, something like that. So that's where this lateral thinking comes into practice. It's a soft skill, it's a life skill, and we teachers and trainers need it more. Hence, I have taken up a study on this aspect of skills education, 21st century skills for lifelong learning. Now, look at this, sir. How many boats are there under the bridge? Sir, madam, answer me. Now, let us get practical about thinking.
2.
2 boats are under the bridge. Wonderful. Anybody?
2, 3. 3.
3. Sir, what do you say? Any sir? Any madam? Hello? Swami sir, Dayanand sir?
Yes, sir. 2.
2 boats are under the bridge.
Guruji.
Yes.
3 are visible, but many are not visible, but boats are there.
Now, again, carefully look at the first boat, right side of the screen, and go backwards looking at the boats. The first boat, is it under the bridge?
No.
Second?
No.
Third?
Actually, there are clouds, I think. That cloud is...
Exactly. Now see, at the outset, first time when we look at a person or an issue or anything, a decision, we have a peripheral look. That's why it looks like this. Again, there is an optical illusion and something is there in the brain which is stopping us to see clearly. And there are clouds in such a shape that they look like a bridge. Actually, there is no bridge in the picture. It is a trick photography. Exactly at that time, in that location, in that particular angle, it is clicked. That is the mind of a photographer, very intelligent and creative photographer or painter who has taken this pic or painted like this.
Yes,
but
yes.
Yeah,
Really beautiful.
actually, there is no bridge. There is no bridge.
Yes.
Same thing happens, sir, when you're looking at the issue. You want to, as an administrator or as a team leader, as any job you are in, or a family head, you are trying to look at certain things, a person or an issue or topic. Same thing happens. So all of us are tuned to one particular way of thinking. We are not trying to go beyond that. That's where lateral thinking, Edward de Bono's topic, comes into picture. Now, what is happening? Stimulus response theory of Ivan Pavlov, Russian psychologist. Stimulus can be external or internal. Now, what was the stimulus? It is a visual. It can be a voice. It can be a person. It can be a thought. Anything can be a stimulus that goes into the brain, maybe external or internal. Then what happens? This is a process. Senses become aware consciously or subconsciously of the stimulus. Conscious brain and subconscious brain both start working based on the stimulus. The stimulus may be filtered by perceptual factors. There is perception, like preconceived notion, maybe previous knowledge, maybe previous experience, maybe emotions, concept of self, your choice, loudness of stimulus, location, personal needs and wants. Based on all these things or some of the things, your perceptions, the processing, the thinking process will be influenced. Then what happens? Look at the fourth column. People interpret the stimulus consciously or unconsciously, subconsciously, by relating it to previous experience. What I said, grandfather did like this, then father did like this, so let us do like this. So preconceived, relating to previous experience. The new information is assimilated or accommodated with person's mental schema or is rejected. Either you receive it or reject it. Then what happens? After this 4 stages of processing, mental processing, 3 types of responses will come out. In terms of behavior, behavioral response or cognitive response or affective response. This is the study, sir. This is the scientific base framework for this thinking pattern. Behavioral response you can see in any person because you are seeing the behavior. Cognitive response, we don't know because internally in the mind what is happening, that is cognitive, understanding. Then affective response, that is your attitude, feeling. So behavior, thinking and feeling. All these 3 or 2 of these or 1 of these may happen. And all these are depending on the stimulus, external or internal. This is the concept. Now, conceptual framework, lateral thinking technique or 6 thinking hats by Edward de Bono. Viewing a problem and decision from various perspectives, compare multiple intelligences. That's why I asked you, what is the link between morning program and now? Multiple intelligence is different, emotional intelligence is different, and lateral thinking is different. Move outside the habitual style of thinking, out of the box thinking. In MBA courses, in executive MBA courses, people talk about this, out of the box thinking. Even in psychology it comes, in B.Ed it comes. Okay, being inside the box or outside, that is the question. The box way of thinking means confined thinking doesn't work. Now, useful questions. This is the first step. If you want to apply lateral thinking technique, put a problem, person, issue, incident in one circle. Then draw arrows and put more circles and put useful questions like what? If it is a problem, what is the problem? Then why this problem? Then when this problem is happening? And who is behind this problem? And where this problem is affecting? And how it is affecting? See? Then take a person, for example. Again, same questions. What about this person? Or who is this person? Then why this person is here? When this person has come here? And who is he? Where is he going? Where is he coming from? And how this person is important to me? If it is an issue incident, also same questions. What, why, when, who, where, and how. So 5 W's and 1 H. This is the formula. Basic structure of thinking. That's how Edward de Bono says there are 6 ways of thinking. And ultimately he called them, named them as 6 hat thinking. 6 thinking hats, which is also called lateral thinking. Any questions here? If you understand this, then application will be very easy. Yes, sir, madam.
Yeah, these are all WH questions, Guruji.
Sir?
These are all WH questions, WH questions.
Yes. So he also starts with WH questions, but the uniqueness of de Bono's theory is he color-coded every way of thinking. He says white hat thinking, he says yellow hat thinking, blue hat thinking, red hat thinking, green hat thinking, like that. That's why I have given different colors here, because it is thematic. And at the center, I didn't know what color to put. So I have put saffron color, which is spiritual color. when a person attains maturity over all these things, I think he will be at the center, at the height of the understanding. That is spiritual color, saffron. Yes, Swami sir? Now, color coding the ways of thinking. As per De Bono, he color coded white hat, red hat, black hat, yellow hat, green hat, blue hat. He's saying hat because a hat is kept on the head. So head is the center of everything. That's what is the concept. Now this is the description. Please read this description and let us evaluate, sir. What is the way of thinking? Then we will apply. From here, theory part will be over. Then we will start applying. What type of thinking, where it is applicable, how it is applicable. Sir, anybody take up this table and explain to audience, sir, including me. Yes.
White. Considering purely white information is available, what are the facts? Considering purely white indicates the purity. Even in our national flag, white indicates the purity only, we tell.
Correct, sir.
And we tell even Christianity indicates the white, like that we tell.
Yes.
Red, intuitive or instinctive gut reactions or statements of emotions, gut feelings, but not any justification, like being anxious, scared, irritable, impatient, lonely, helpless, syndromes.
Various syndromes, sir, like you are afraid of something, but you don't know the reason. Some people are afraid. Some people are irritating. Some people are impatient. Some feel lonely. Some feel helpless. All these feelings, emotions, when while thinking, if we are using that way of thinking, is red hat thinking.
Even red color, Guruji, we use for danger mark.
Yes, yes, danger, because when you are irritated, what you are doing, you don't know. That is danger, na?
Yeah.
That's what. So, white hat is nothing, purely based on general things. If you are thinking, normal way of thinking is called white hat thinking. That may be pure, may not be pure, but according to De Bono, white hat thinking means general way of thinking. Red hat thinking means emotionally. For example, when the mind is calm, if you take the decision, your thinking will be normal and decision will be good. If you are emotional, angry, scared, anxious, something, and you take the decision, your mind, your thinking will be different, and your decision also will be different, right? So that way of thinking is called red hat thinking. And what is black hat thinking? Anybody? Black hat?
Logic applied to reasons to be critical, cautious, conservative, weak points, disadvantages.
Yes. When somebody is thinking of disadvantages, negative points, that is called black hat thinking.
In some places, black shows the somewhat in their family somebody dead or like that, Guruji.
Yes, yes, yes. Correct.
Sometimes strike and all we do with the black badges.
Yes, yes, yes.
It shows that we are in difficulty like that.
So, critical thinking, talking about the loopholes, minus points, and raising doubts, questions, that way of thinking is called black hat thinking. Okay, sir?
Right, Guruji?
Then yellow hat thinking. Anybody else?
Logic applied to identify benefits, seeking harmony with optimism.
Yeah, optimistic, positive way of thinking. That is called yellow hat thinking. Then go for green.
Creativity, statement of provocation and investigation. Seeing where a thought goes. Indiscipline, library get the signatures of other teachers.
That is an example. Criticism of ideas. In one school, some teacher did that, so I just mentioned there, but forget about it. No criticism of ideas. So what happens? Black hat thinking is criticism of ideas. Negative thinking or talking about loopholes, what are the problems? That is black hat. Yellow is positive way of thinking, optimistic, and green is creative way of thinking. Okay. Then there is blue hat thinking. What is that?
Process control, being functional, operational, run by people, chairing meetings, implementation. What is the object? What is the subject? What are we thinking about? What is the goal?
Yes. So blue hat thinking is supposed to be worn by people who are trying to control others, like conducting a meeting, or you are controlling a team, or you are directing a team. So you have a blue hat thinking because you want to control everything, the people and the process. So there are likewise 6 hats of thinking. So what is white? General way of thinking. What is red? Emotional way of thinking. What is black? Critical, finding loopholes. What is yellow hat thinking? Positive, optimistic. What is green hat thinking? Creative way of thinking. What is blue hat thinking? Process controlling. So these are 6 ways. So theory part is over, sir. Now let us apply. How do we apply? Now look at this visual. Look at the visuals below carefully. Identify the way of thinking, the hat applied in each visual below. When you look at this picture, what interpretation can you do? Which hat of thinking?
Identify the way of thinking.
Sir.
Yes, sir.
Now, look at the description of the hats. 6 ways of thinking. Which way of thinking is there here? Is it white, general way of thinking? Or red, emotional, black, negative, yellow, positive,
red Guruji.
negative?
Red Guruji.
Why, sir?
Because danger. Their emotions, problems, tension. They are sitting on the railway track. You see how dangerous?
Yes, sir. Dangerous, sir.
That boy is looking very sad.
Okay. But the girl is happy.
Girl is okay.
Because she is adventurous.
Yes, positive thinking.
Boy
is negative thinking.
Yes, go on interpreting, sir. If boy is negative thinking, that means which hat?
The
Negative
girl is
effects.
smiling face.
Girl is positive, boy is negative.
Yes,
Which
sir.
hat thinking here? White, red, black, yellow, green, blue. This is application, sir.
Right, Guruji?
Red.
Boy thinking is red.
Boy thinking is red.
Black.
Thinking?
Green.
Creatively she is thinking. Yellow is positive. Black is negative. Blue is control.
Yes. Yes. So boy may be control also. We don't know.
See.
What may he is thinking.
Now what is happening?
Seems to be
yes,
black.
sir. Yes, sir.
Black.
What is happening now? The more we are thinking, out of the box thinking, because we are not thinking in a normal way now. Why? Because we discussed about De Bono's 6 ways of thinking. Correct? So now we are applying the concept. So we started thinking in many ways.
Show me.
Yes, sir. Madam. Hello.
Hello, Guruji.
Hello, sir.
Respond to me, sir. I am asking something. Because we are thinking in different ways, different ideas are coming. Otherwise, if you just look at the
Black, sir.
Yes, sir.
Black.
Madam. Yes, ma'am. Madam.
Black. Boy is black. Boy is black. Girl is green.
Yes. Yes. Wonderful. So what is happening now? The theory part we are applying on this situation. So various ideas are coming. That's what I'm saying. When we start thinking, when we train the brain, the response is different. That's what is the research here. Now look at this visual. What do you see here? Identify the way of thinking. Hat applied in this visual below. Sir, madam.
ಪಾಠ ಕೇಳ್ತಾರೆ ನಾನು ನೋಡಕ್ ಹೋಗಿಲ್ಲ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಇಂಟರಾಕ್ಟಿವ್ ಇದೆ.
Sir, madam.
No directions.
This man is sitting on the donkey.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, the directions has to be defined.
No. Observe the picture properly. Sir,
Direction
madam.
has to be.
What is on the head of the donkey?
One badge is there.
What is that badge? Which logo? That is BMW, sir.
Oh.
BMW car.
Oh.
Okay.
Very expensive car logo. He has tied it to the donkey. And he is sitting on the donkey.
Okay.
And there is a mobile phone in his hand. Now tell me, interpretation.
According to
He may be thinking that he.
According to him, that is a costly car type only.
He is driving the car, BMW.
Madam, what do you think?
In his opinion, the donkey is sophisticated.
Okay. Madam, what do you think?
And he is very happy.
In that road.
He is happy to ride.
Okay.
ಅದೆಲ್ಲ ಡ್ರೈವ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ ಆಗಲ್ಲ.
Donkey riding, horse riding.
He cannot drive
The
it
donkey has to be.
in that road.
Donkey has to be given the direction, sir. He is not having the directions. Which direction he has to move? Probably that could be the reason he is using his mobile to get a direction.
So, Swami sir,
The
Dayanand
path
sir,
he has to
madam.
move further.
Yes.
Guruji,
Yes, sir.
Right. Listen.
Donkey is the symbol of burden. It carries the burden.
Burden. Okay. Heavy weight.
Beast of burden.
Very good. Very good. Now see what is happening in this small discussion based on this visual. Different interpretations are coming or not? Sir?
According to our thoughts, we are expressing.
Yes, correct. What I am saying. So somebody is thinking positively, somebody is thinking negatively, somebody is thinking creatively. So many types of thinking is happening, right? And again, there is a difference. What madam is thinking is different. What Swami sir is thinking different. What Dayanand sir thinking is different. Yes?
Yes, sir.
That is what is the study now. Different ways of thinking in different, same situation, but different feelings are coming. Different ideas. That's where individual differences, the thinking patterns are different. That's what De Bono said and color coded. Now maybe there is a message he is giving to the world. Your BMW is like my donkey. That is one statement he is giving indirectly. Yes? And he's saying my donkey is as good as your BMW. That is also said by him. Okay. And why to waste money on BMW when there is a comfortable donkey with you? Like that. So many messages are given there. So I collected this visual in the Arab countries. Somebody was wondering like this. Okay. Now look at this cartoon, sir. If you know how to beg, we have an opening in our collections department. The boss is saying to the subordinate. What do you think? Which way of thinking? Yes, sir. Madam.
Yes, sir.
Which way of thinking? Normal way, white hat, emotional, red hat, green, creative, yellow, positive, black, negative, or blue, control? Sir, madam.
Control.
Control. Why, madam? How?
He's trying to control her.
Okay, he's trying to
And he's
control.
trying to suppress her by saying that you can become a beggar.
Okay, is it so?
Guruji,
Yes, sir.
anxiety is there on their face, and something despot like that they're using. Something data and all they're checking.
Okay.
And one is sitting and giving instruction, another is checking.
Okay.
Yeah.
So which hat of thinking is applied here? What do you see?
Green.
Green is creative way of saying or doing. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Madam, which hat?
Red.
Black, sir.
Red.
Black is negative.
Black.
And anybody else? Yeah, black
Yes.
is negative way of thinking, critical. Any other thinking here in this situation?
Red, sir.
Red is emotional. What is emotional way here, sir?
Sir, red is danger also.
Danger is general sense, but as per De Bono, it is emotional way of thinking.
Probably, according to me, it is black.
Okay, black. So this is what happens when we are applying ways of thinking for effective decision making. This tool can be applied to any decision making process. Anything you want to decide quickly, apply 6 thinking hats. It means think 6 ways. Surely you will arrive at a decision, a conclusion, I mean solution. Okay, what about this?
Is it a pyramid, Guruji?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, she is giving kiss.
Maybe.
Kissing the pyramid.
Maybe.
Because both are human beings, no? She is assuming pyramid also.
No. Okay. Again, when I showed this to MBA and engineering level students in one of the classes, then you know, all the girls said, "Sir, it is better to trust these rocks and pyramids than boys," they said. And I asked this same thing to boys. They said, "Sir, these girls don't know the difference between human beings and rocks, sir." They said. And they said they are wasting their time, sir. They don't have brain, sir. Like this. So different opinions came. So my study is how many ways possibly a human being is thinking and how these patterns of thinking are getting different. What is the reason behind these ways of thinking? Like that, I have been thinking. Then I designed a questionnaire, sir, for my interdisciplinary research. I'll share with you. Kindly look at the questionnaire. Then more practical things will come into picture. Madam, shall we proceed?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now, interdisciplinary, multidisciplinary research. Based on this concept, if you want to apply, how do we apply? That is the question. So, lifelong learning through lateral thinking skills for 21st century education. That was the topic I presented for SVYasa University near Banerghatta. There's a big university that is yoga, meditation, diplomas are also there in Bangalore. Last year I came, not last year, 2019 November, I presented there. So any faculty or research scholar can take up this study at any university or institution in India or any country. Kindly fill the Google document created for the study. Send an email to me soon after the webinar so that the questionnaire can be analyzed further. I'll share with you also right here. Please write your comments and recommendations on LinkedIn under the profile also, based on the discussions made. These are my requests to all the participants, sir, including madam and everybody. Okay. Now, applying 6-SAD thinking at workplace. This is the updated link of my research questionnaire with a request to fill it out. Please respond to Google Doc link. I'm sharing the link now. Just open. We'll try 2-3 questions applying the hats. Then we'll proceed with the action research, madam. Sir, is it okay? Sir. Hello? Sir, madam.
Yes, sir. Yeah, you can proceed.
Yeah. There are many thinking styles and thinkers who proclaimed their philosophy. Why are we thinking of this? India is a rich and pious land of spiritual, philosophical, and motivational gurus. Though there are many ideas available, a structured thinking which gives way to a quick decision is preferred. Hence, De Bono's 6 thinking hats or lateral thinking fits the requirement. This is the main reason why the researcher has chosen the above technique for the study, presented it across India and Oman, tried out the technique, collected the data, and analyzed in this paper. Now, what I have done, sir, for my action research, what is action research? It is a method of systematic inquiry that teachers undertake as researchers of their own practice. It means in your classrooms, in your research studies, wherever you can utilize this, sir. Then Kurt Lewin is generally considered the father of action research. Action research can be defined as an approach in which the action researcher and a client collaborate in the diagnosis of the problem and in the development of a solution based on the diagnosis. Action research is accepted as a method to test a hypothesis in a real world environment. This is the definition of action research.
Microphone.
Madam? Yeah. How to use it? Name 3 practices of your own that you do at your institution. Now, if you want to take up action research, sir, madam, you can name 3 practices in terms of your methods of teaching or evaluation or whatever it is. Just to take up one aspect. So I have said 3 things you can take just for the sake of choosing from that. Can you name any 3 practices at your own institution, sir, madam? Sir, madam.
They are thinking.
Yes, sir.
The inquiry involved in action research is often visualized as a cyclical process. It is connected to many things. Give examples from your experience. As an action researcher or a teacher researcher, you will generate research. So 3 practices, maybe in terms of teaching, in terms of curriculum, or in terms of evaluation, any 3 aspects you can choose.
Teacher, researchers.
Okay, very good. Madam? Sir? Swami, sir?
Guruji, I'm thinking.
Wow.
Researchers.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, madam.
So this teacher and researcher is linked, or is it a separate term?
Okay.
No, is
What
it
is it?
separate, sir? Researcher. A researcher need not always be a teacher. It cannot. It can be an independent researcher also.
Yes,
Or
ma'am.
it can be
You're
an
right.
independent teacher also.
Yes.
Oh, you have put teacher hyphen researcher. So there are 2 different terms, I think.
Yes. Actually, what I'm thinking is, some are purely into research, but some are teaching as well as doing research. In that context, I put it there. So what happens?
But so many teachers don't do research, sir.
Yes, that is also true, madam. Different categories.
And so many researchers don't teach.
Yes, wonderful, correct. So those who are teaching and doing research based on their day-to-day experiences with the learners or with the administrators, with the colleagues, whatever subject they are dealing with, they want to do some research in that action area. That's how action research comes into picture. So take up one issue, maybe teaching, maybe evaluation, or maybe course design, like that. Then you can apply. Okay. What is the main purpose of action research? Action research creates knowledge-based and inquiries conducted within specific and often practical contexts. The purpose of action research is to learn through action, then leads on to personal or professional development. Name few activities related to professional development. What do you think? In your institution or anywhere you have seen, name 3 activities related to professional development. Sir, madam.
Sir, some consultant patent applications.
Yes, ma'am.
That's the outcome of the research.
Okay.
Very good peer-reviewed publications.
Yes.
Or some consultancy work or some patents which can come out of the research. That's the final outcome of that research actually.
Correct. What is this, sir? Swami sir, Dayanand sir, anybody?
That is for last one, sir. Name few activities related to professional developments. So some FDTPs, STTPs, FDPs are also required like this.
Like this, okay.
Yeah. Papers will improve their
so
teaching.
Once we list out some areas, practical areas, this action research is possible. Now,
yes.
Example, working independently on a project, an elementary, high school, college or any level teacher conducting her own in-class research project with her students. That is one example. Difference between action research and other forms of research. Action research is practice-based. Research questions derived from practice. Does not depend on statistical significance only. Theory plays secondary role. Traditional research is based on theories. It needs rigorous statistical analysis. In action research also, it is a method to facilitate change by helping involve the client system in a diagnostic, active learning, problem finding and problem solving process. Highly practical. Now, what are the main steps in action research? Step 1, selecting a topic area in your field with a focus. Then number 2, clarifying theories. Number 3, identifying research questions. Number 4, collecting data. Number 5, analyzing data. Number 6, reporting results. 7 is very important, taking informed action. It is not that just you do research and find something and throw it in the shelf. Not like that. Taking informed action. That's how it becomes action research. Now, is action research qualitative or quantitative? Yes, though it is usually qualitative, it can be both. Most of the time, action research uses natural language rather than numbers. The use of natural language suits a paradigm which is participative and responsive to the situation. You have to participate in the situation, you have to practice it, you have to apply it, then see what is happening. Now, advantages of action research. High level of practical relevance, can be used with quantitative and qualitative data, possibly to gain in-depth knowledge about the problem. There are some disadvantages also. Difficulties in distinguishing between action and research and ensure the application of both. Delays in completion of action research due to a wide range of reasons are not rare occurrences. Lack of repeatability and rigor. There can be these disadvantages. Now, there is an activity. In groups you can do or individually. Discuss and jot down your goals. Lay down objectives and outcomes. Brainstorm ways of achieving your goals. Present it to all. If I do a physical face-to-face FDP, what I do is I divide the entire crowd into groups of 5. Sir, madam, are you listening?
Yes, sir.
What I do usually face-to-face FDPs, I divide the entire crowd into groups of 5. Then I ask them to discuss, jot down your goals, objectives, outcomes, whatever field you are in, whether you are an administrator or you are a teacher or you are a faculty, HOD, whatever it is. So they jot down. Then lay down objectives and outcomes. What are the objectives of your subject or teaching or research, whatever? Then what are the outcomes? Then brainstorm ways of achieving your goals. Discuss with the group. That becomes rigorous discussion because it is online. Some 2-3 participants are interacting, others are silent. Maybe they are just prefer to listen or type in the chat window, something like. Individual preferences are different, or maybe they are busy. But in a practical face-to-face situation, what happens? We sit, we discuss, we respond, and we report. We present to all those who are present there. So I always suggest to organizations, when you have face-to-face FDPs or workshops, try this experiment which I am suggesting, activity. That yields tremendous results, madam. Sir, this is what is my suggestion. Then we can take a feedback. That is the idea. What do you say, madam, sir, about this?
It's right, sir.
Yes, sir, can carry out. I think there are 17 participants at this stage.
Wonderful. So let us try asking.
How many can we divide?
Division not possible now, but individual also, what I am saying, jot down some of the issues, main areas, maybe in teaching, maybe in curriculum design, maybe course design, syllabus finalization or assessment criteria, like that. Identify certain areas where, action research can happen. Then I need some objectives. Why are you doing this? Then 1, 2, 3 objectives will come out. Then if you do this research, what is the outcome you are expecting? Then write down 2-3 points about outcomes. Then we can brainstorm, think about it, talk about it, how to achieve this goal, whatever you have decided. Then we can present to all. For example, madam, now multidisciplinary and interdisciplinary courses people are thinking, right? So, for example, anybody can share with me what can be one such type of course, multidisciplinary course. Anybody, sir, madam? Just let us think 5 minutes, then I will give you the questionnaire. Sir, madam.
Guruji, your question clarity, can you? What I have to do?
One multidisciplinary course I want to design, for example. So what can be that course? Sir, madam, anybody can share their idea or type into the chat window.
Research methodology.
Research methodology.
Wonderful, madam. What research methodology? That is a course, name of the course, right?
Yes. Yes.
Yes, sir.
How is it new? Is it a new area, new course?
New area, I think that's the main thing required for all the researchers to carry out the different paths, ways,
okay, very
how
good, very
the research future has to be carried out.
So that is one important course. Now I am talking about interdisciplinary area. One research scholar comes and says, I want to do multidisciplinary or interdisciplinary research. What is the answer? Let us take up just one issue, then discuss 5 minutes, then proceed further.
Something on environment?
Environment, wonderful. Suppose madam wants to study on environment. And what Swami sir is saying?
Guruji, COVID?
COVID. In environment, what is the impact of COVID? Okay, agree?
Yeah.
Okay, how this is interdisciplinary or multidisciplinary? Sir, madam, please answer.
In the environment only, the COVID it spreads, no, Guruji, it is an epidemic.
Correct, wonderful. Okay, you have identified what is the reason behind it. Okay. Now, madam, what do you say? Is it interdisciplinary or multidisciplinary?
all the society, no?
Mm, mm, mm.
So how to overcome such type of problem?
Wonderful. So the problem is identified. What is the name of the problem? The impact of COVID on environment, for example. Yes or no?
Yes, Guruji.
Madam, impact of COVID on environment. Is it okay? Topic?
Yes, yes, sir. Yes, sir. True.
Madam?
Yeah, environment, because it was actually we're not using mask and all with all sanitizers. So
Wonderful. Wonderful.
all those things are actually related when we breathe or sneeze. So how it is actually affecting the other person who is nearby, who is infected with COVID.
Wonderful. Great.
So that
Great.
is also one of the reasons.
Very good. So lay down the objectives now. What are the objectives of this study? I want to take this interdisciplinary or multidisciplinary topic. Impact of COVID on the environment. That is my topic. Now, what is the objective? Why do I want to do this study?
Necessity is there, Guruji.
Okay, necessity is there. Number two.
Yeah. Huh?
How to overcome this problem?
How to overcome this problem? Number three.
Measures to be taken.
Yeah, measures to be taken. Wonderful. Number four.
Be prepared for facing such instances in future.
Wonderful. Number five.
And what are the remedies?
Yes, very good. Now let us stop it here. Now we have taken up the topic. We have decided the topic. We have the objectives. And what will be the possible outcomes if we do this study? What is the outcome?
Vaccination. We have to invent the vaccination.
No. If we do this study, what is the benefit, sir? Outcome is that.
We invent the medicine.
Okay, we did that. What else?
And we earn money also by supplying vaccination to different countries. We can earn money.
Very good. Wonderful. We are doing that. 100 countries are buying now. What
Correct,
else?
sir. Correct, sir.
What else, sir? Madam?
We get name and fame to our scientists, sir.
Very good. Suppose your institution is doing this study. You get name individually as an investigator, and your institution also will get the name, right?
Yes, sir. Institution and country only will get the name, sir.
Country also will get the name. Wonderful. So these are the possible outcomes. So this is the benefit of doing action research, sir. One practical problem we take, we brainstorm how we are doing this, and we identify an area, then we narrow it down to a topic, then we lay down the objectives, then we write the outcomes. Now comes the methodology. What is your research methodology? Madam, what is your research methodology? Question
Yes, sir.
to all. When methodology comes, I was also thinking like this. So what I did, I have taken 3 broad areas of coverage for the study, for my study: professional, academic, and personal. 3 areas in terms of teaching learning with reference to lateral thinking, the thinking hats. Sir, madam, are you listening? Hello? Hello?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So 3 areas: professional, personal, and academic. Then what happened? I have taken these areas, themes covered under the study.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Feedback system, evaluation
Yes, sir.
criteria,
Yes, yes.
assessment, content, learning, teaching, all these things I have taken. Then what I did, there is a sample study. 270 was the sample study for me. This is the methodology. 100 high school teachers, 80 engineering MBA faculty, 70 lecturers, 20 trainers. What is the methodology? Qualitative technique, interviews, FGDs, focused group discussions, F2F interactions, face-to-face interactions. These are qualitative techniques. Then quantitative, opinionaire we developed. And what is the field site across India, Oman, Myanmar, so many countries. Then what happened? 270 teaching and training professionals, 80 faculty members, MBA engineering, 20 trainers, 100 high school teachers, 70 lecturers at colleges, all these things. So this is the demographics I have, countries and professions. And data analysis, interpretation and findings also designed. Many countries I have wandered, so I have collected that. Now, these are the academic issues. Quickly look at it, sir. Lesson planning, course coverage, time management, evaluation, curriculum, teaching, writing, reading. Like that, I collected some academic issues. Then what I did, I applied 4 hats: black, yellow, red and green. Is it clear, sir, madam?
Yes, sir.
This is academic. So some issues and 4 hats. I am thinking in 4 ways about each issue in academic, under academic category. Then I took interpretation. Then professional aspects. The issues are like this: standard of students, indiscipline of the students, dress code for teachers, class visits, feedback, remedial classes, homework, like this. Some issues are identified. These are professional issues. Again, I applied for each issue, wearing a black hat, yellow hat, red hat, green hat, I thought. Then final opinion. This is professional. Then interpreted. Then for personal aspects, my assumptions. My teaching is the best. Some faculty or somebody is thinking like this. My abilities are doubtless. Anybody can teach the students of this level. Existing materials are substandard ones. Appraisal and feedback system is unnecessary. Like this, some personal aspects also I have taken. So what happened? Academic, professional and personal. 3 aspects. And applied 4 hats here: black, yellow, red, green. For example, sir, my teaching is the best. Think for 2 minutes and answer me. What do you think? Take up one issue from the list, then apply black, yellow, red, green. What happens? Then tell me your final opinion. Think for 2 minutes, sir, madam. Then we'll talk.
Before we take this, first we should know what is black properly, yellow, red and green. We should know deeper that meaning and also.
Sir.
Guruji.
Sorry. Tell me.
Before my teaching is the best to mark. In one word, you tell me black hat, yellow hat, red, green hat. One meaning you tell me.
I told sir already. We
Sir, you told many meanings were there. Now you tell me one meaning.
Okay. For example,
black. One word or one sentence or one phrase.
Black hat is a negative, critical way of thinking.
Okay.
Suppose I have a feeling.
Enough. Guruji, we can understand negative. Now you go to the yellow hat.
Yellow is positive.
Okay, Guruji, next.
Red is emotional way of thinking.
Okay.
Green is creative way of thinking.
Okay, Guruji. Now you ask me, we will answer for all this.
Very nice. So I expect 2-3 of you to give me answers for each one. Okay.
Yeah.
My teaching is the best. Now put on black hat and think about this statement.
Shall I tell orally, Guruji?
Yeah, oral, no problem.
Yeah. Yellow hat is there, and green also, green hat also I can give.
Yeah, give black first, sir. Negative. Critical.
Why black, sir? Your teaching is best now. Why negatively I have to talk?
No, this is research, na. I'm just thinking the thinking patterns will change or not. That's what I'm studying, sir. That's why I'm asking.
Sir, this is about yourself, no, Kalyana Chakravarti, sir.
Yeah.
Your teaching is best. For that, which one I have to tell? Yes, I have to tell.
No. It is not yes, no. For example, I'm thinking critically about my teaching. I made a statement. I'm feeling personally that my teaching is the best. Then again, I'm thinking in the mind critically. So what will be my answer?
Critically yourself, you are thinking, Guruji?
Yes. Because the entire concept is about thinking styles.
Guruji, you have given me that declarative sentence. My teaching is best. You have given that one. We have to give critical analysis. We have to do.
Yes.
Why black hat?
Okay, go for any hat, sir. No problem.
Yeah, green hat I can give. Creative.
Okay. Creatively, what do you think about it?
Creatively, you are taught now since morning in 2 sessions. You are taught a lot of things.
Okay, madam, what is your answer? Madam.
Yes, probably red hat I can tell you, because the subject where we have if we are very doubtful of the students who can pass the particular subject. So, for example, some of the subjects where it is more on mathematical, the student requires that particular formula or something to correctly apply and then cross. So, if the results are not very good, then it is a red hat. So, how do we overcome this? By taking a remedial class. So, that could be a yellow hat.
Yes.
And probably green hat when all of them pass. That's how I can analyze. I don't know in what way we can analyze further.
Yes. I'll tell you, ma'am. This is the research I'm doing for the last 6 years, madam, now. And I'm almost at the verge of taking the analysis. I'll share with you that questionnaire. My request is leisurely fill that online questionnaire, which will give us the data. Then I'm thinking that Edward de Bono's topic, the concept, 6 ways of thinking are there. If the ways of thinking are changing by wearing different hats in different situations, then Edward de Bono is correct. If it is not changing, then de Bono theory will be different. And I'll be giving my own theory later with the help of all of you. That is a major research I'm doing now, madam. And it is applied to trainers, teachers, high school teachers, university teachers across India and 2-3 countries. Data is with me. I'll share with you. Now another topic is appraisal and feedback system is unnecessary. Left side, last statement I made. What do you think about it? When I think critically, when I think positively, when I think emotionally, when I think creatively, what is coming to your mind? Sir, madam.
Feedback is usually to get to know which are the dark areas where we should improve or put a light on that, so that we can overcome that problem. So probably feedback is usually for that. So it is actually, if it is positive, then it is not a problem. If it is a negative feedback or some points which has to be highlighted, or we should overcome those negative points.
Very nice, very nice. What do you say, Swami sir? Any hat you can take up and tell me, sir, about this issue?
Guruji, feedback is compulsory from all the fields.
If you think positively, that is important. If you think emotionally about feedback system,
sir, emotionally, those who are giving feedback. But we have to correct the feedback.
I'm thinking of this feedback system emotionally. Maybe with anger, maybe with affection, maybe with dislike, different emotions, na? Red-haired thinking means.
But we are not collecting from one head, no, sir. We are collecting from different head, you know.
Okay. Okay. Right. Thank you. Now, this is professional aspect, right? I have some academic issues like evaluation criteria. Number 4 in academic issues is evaluation criteria. I am putting on black, thinking negatively about evaluation system, then positively about evaluation system, and red, emotionally about evaluation system, green, creatively about evaluation system. So what is your idea? Madam? Then sir. Evaluation system. Sir, madam.
Guruji, evaluation on what topic we have to do? What is the topic?
General evaluation system, sir. At any level of your teaching or anywhere, I am thinking about evaluation criteria. For example, evaluation system.
Examination evaluation.
Yeah.
Classroom evaluation.
Yes. So if I think critically about this evaluation, something comes to my mind. When I think yellow hat, I mean positively, something comes to my mind. When I think red hat, emotionally, something comes to my mind. When I think green, creatively, then something comes into the mind. So what is coming into the mind? That's what I want to find out with intellectuals like you, all of you. That is my study. Madam?
Sir, when the results are good, when you try to evaluate something, results are not good, then it's a red hat, danger.
Okay. No, I'm not asking which is red hat. I'm asking, requesting you to think of evaluation, that topic, that issue, by putting on these 4 types of hats. Emotionally, when I think with anger or maybe like, yes, sir. Yes, madam. Hello.
Guruji. Mood of the person also it differs, you know.
Yeah. It differs, sir.
Because morning a type of mood, afternoon, evening, night. And when he is fresh, when he is exhausted, when he is tired.
Yes.
It is a subjective, you know, Guruji.
Yes, subjective. That's why red hat, emotional.
Yeah, highly subjective.
Yes. What's your opinion, sir? Your reaction?
Guruji, we have to do evaluation. Definitely, it is there in for all the field we require.
So that is positive.
Positive, sir.
Yellow hat. And if I want to think critically about evaluation system, what is the opinion? What is the idea? Madam, sir, anybody? Hello.
Yeah.
Sir. Madam, hello, sir. Tell me, sir. Madam.
If you think critically, it gives more work to the mind, sir.
Yeah, correct. And that's why thinking. That is the subject.
And the creativity, creatively we work, sir.
Yes, wonderful. Now, okay, academic is over. Professional, indiscipline of the students. This is professional aspect. One of the issues is indiscipline of the students. Now I am thinking critically, thinking positively, thinking emotionally, thinking creatively. What is coming into your mind?
Guruji, before we take indiscipline of the students, we have to take indiscipline of the teaching faculty.
Very good. Okay, tell me, no problem.
Up to university level, from lower level to university level, what is the indiscipline of the trainers and the teachers and faculty, those who we are in the teaching field?
Correct, correct.
Before we show our finger to the students, first introspection we have to do ourselves, Guruji.
Correct. Agree. Agreed, sir. Agreed. Self-evaluation is important.
I can't blame the students, sir.
Yes. Okay. Okay.
I can't blame the students. Are we role model? First we have to think.
Yes. Wonderful. Yes, madam. Anything you want to say here?
No, sir. I'm also
Anybody else? Thinking, na? So, madam, the entire topic is ways of thinking, styles of thinking, madam. That's why, including me, I am also thinking and I am making you think, and everybody is thinking. Whoever is listening to us,
Yes, sir.
everybody,
Yes, sir.
right? That's
It is
what
not
should
so
happen,
simple.
madam. Because basically, faculty members are thinkers, madam. That's what I believe. We are thinkers, like Socrates, like Vivekananda, like any philosopher. Each teacher, each faculty is putting more strain on the brain. That's why students will be benefited, madam. That is the idea I have behind it. Okay. So interpretation can be shared later on. Now, what I want to show you is